No, it's great to be here, number one. Number two, you hate to get upstaged by your own student. And then that was such a wonderful introduction, it's like you get intimidated before you say one word of your speech. However, this speech is really dedicated to the students, to the scholars, and I'm going to go through 50 years at USC, 50 years of this wonderful journey. You know, I look out in the crowd and I see, you're all my friends. I've known some of you for 50 years, right? No, you don't want to admit that you're that old, I got it. I'm going to go through my speech, and there's 7 tips for success. So starting back when I was 20 years old, which is about your age now, 2021, I just graduated from the University of Michigan. Go Blue. You know, it's funny, we say fight on. Fight on has a lot of meaning. Go Blue? What is go Blue? Dude. I'm already off my script. Anyway, in my 20s, it's about finding your passion. And I already knew my passion. I either wanted something in music or something in athletics. I was a renowned trumpet player. I was a wannabe basketball player who wanted to play for the New York Knicks. I went to Michigan. I found out I had no future in basketball. Trumpet, I could hold my own. So these were my passion. And so during the first decade of the 20s, these are the kind of things I was doing. Number one, continuing my education. Oh, I never left Michigan. Always working on a degree, working on my doctorate. I established a goal to be a college band director, and you need a doctorate to achieve that goal. I also had 2 high school jobs. My first job was in North Adams, Michigan. If you can find North Adams in the state of Michigan, you're a better man than I am. 4 grades, 225 kids in the entire school. I directed all 5 bands from 5th grade on up. My second job was at Davidson High School, bigger Class A school, 1,000 kids. I had 3 bands in the high school alone. So I was moving up. I was in the Flint Symphony Orchestra, I was in the Flint Wind Ensemble, and I fronted the Art Bartner Quartet. Named after me because I named the band, it's my band. Society Band, Country Club Band, Mac the Knife, Hello Dolly, Tijuana Taxi, Herb Alpert. Little did I know at the time, Herb Alpert marched in our band. And here I'm playing all his tunes. Anyway, tip number 1. Busy people are successful people. The busier you are, the better you manage your time, the more successful you're going to be. Now, I'm in my 30s. By the way, I should mention that I was married. My wife is sitting in table 20-something. I had, please applaud my wife. This is a partnership. I only got the kids on Sunday, took them to the park, fell asleep on the bench, and didn't wake up until I heard one of them cry. So that was my contribution to the family during the 30s, or during the 20s. In the 30s, it's time to lock into a career. You should know what you want to do the rest of your life. I wanted to be a college band director. Now, I was very fortunate. My first job was the University of Southern California. 30 years old. To be honest with you, I expected to move my way up through the college ranks, but I hit the home run right at the very beginning. Now, the reason was nobody wanted the job. No support from anybody. School, Trojan family, no support, period. Number two, the budget, Mike will appreciate this. My first budget was $15,000. $5,000 for the horse, $5,000 for the song girls, $5,000 for the band. I'll see you later this week and we'll fix that budget. Anyway, so now this dream job turned into a nightmare because this band, by the way, the first band was 55 guys. Now we're right around 300. So 55 guys, all male. I didn't understand that part at all. All male, and they were all predominantly music majors who were only out there to receive their scholarships for all the wrong reasons. So, tip number 2, you have to believe in yourself. If you don't think you can solve the problem and change the culture, you're going to fail. I was a pretty arrogant kid. I thought I could solve the world, and this didn't faze me in the least. But I had help. I had 4 mentors. And the first one was Marv Goo. Marv, remember Marv Goo? He was the defensive line coach. He bled Cardinal and Gold. He took me under his wing and he said, this is what this band should be. This is how you become a Trojan. He created the relationship between the band and the team. He established our Friday jock rallies. So he was mentor number 1. Mentor number 2 was Hank Ehrlich, PR director of Paramount Studios. He introduced Hollywood to me. He introduced me to Diana Ross, who was up to an Academy Awards for Lady Sings the Blues. We played for an Academy Awards. We played for Dinah Shore's show. Remember Dinah Shore? These scholars, Dinah who? Anyway, Hank opened up Hollywood to me and the band. The third was Ken Kotler. And Barbara Kotler is in the room somewhere. And Ken introduced me to the Trojan family and fundraising. In high school, you raise spaghetti dinner, toothbrushes, Hershey bars. This is what I thought fundraising. Ken said, no. You have a big event down at Arco Plaza, and you invite the Trojan family down, and you raise thousands and thousands of dollars to go back to Notre Dame. It worked. So, the 4th mentor was Bob Yanni. Now, Bob Yanni was the vice president of entertainment at Disneyland. He opened up a whole new career for me. He hired me as the director of the All-American College Band. I did that for 28 summers. I ended up doing all kinds of events for him. And He does what a mentor needs to do. Influence your career. And so tip number 3 is seek out the mentors that can help you. Seek out the experts in your field that can help you improve and be successful. I'm now in my 40s. I'm aging very fast. It's like a movie. In my 40s, it's time to hit the home run. It's time to be successful. It's time to make a name for yourself. And give you a couple examples. I was promoted to the position of professor. Now, to be a professor, you have to be the best in your field. So I had to go out and prove that I was the best band director in this country, or at least convince the committee, Jack Hubbard, that I was such. Also, the marching band recorded with Fleetwood Mac. We became rock stars. We became international rock stars overnight. It was fun time. So tip number 4, you have to be ambitious. On Tommy Trojan out here, there's 5 pillars. The first one is ambitious. You have to be ambitious. And then I add this word. You have to be determined. You have to be determined. You have to be relentless. If you want something bad enough, you got to go get it. You can't sit around and let the guy across town do one up on you. That's unheard of. Okay, I'm now in my 50s. Boy, I love this. I'm going through 50 years in about 10 seconds, 10 minutes. In my 50s, it was now time to find new interests, to expand. And this is important because in the 50s, there's a burnout that kind of happens to you if you're so involved in your career. You start to burn out. So you have to come up with new interests. And one of them for me was to travel. And I'm talking about traveling outside the United States. And the band started traveling with me. Like, I think in the introduction you heard about some of those things. We've been to 6 continents. We've done 6 expos where we represent the United States of America on the 4th of July. Very cool things. We performed with guest artists and so on and so forth. Eiffel Tower. They even closed the Great Wall of China so we could play Conquest and drive the barbarians off the wall. Anyway, this became a very big interest for me in my 50s. The other thing was I developed an affinity for the visual arts. I fell in love with Impressionism. And when I retire, I'm going to paint. Now, so far, I've just lectured and, docent and all those kind of things, but I've never had the time to pick up a paintbrush and paint. So that's next year. So number 5 is to continue to grow. You don't stop learning. You don't stop growing as a person. I talk to kids in the band and they go, I'm going to graduate and if I never see another classroom again, and if I never have to pick up a book, I'll be happy. I said, well, what are you going to do for the next 50 years? Rot. I can talk to band kids that way. But anyway, you never stop learning. I am now in my 60s. I still look good. My wife's laughing, right? this is where all the networking that you have done all these years pays off. The Bob Yachty's, the Hank, all these people, all these guys, even now in this room, you should be networking because it all pays off. For the band, we got to do Fleetwood Mac a second time, a quadruple platinum album. We were in the Grammys with Radiohead. Not one Super Bowl, which was last Sunday. By the way, I watched that show. I think our halftime shows are better. And a lot cheaper, a lot cheaper. That was a Las Vegas halftime show, very talented people. But, you know, that was a show made for television through Las Vegas. But the band has done 4. San Diego, in New Orleans, 2 in the Rose Bowl, 1 with Disney and Bob Yachty. And then Forrest Gump, and we've done 12 movies. Forrest Gump, we won the Academy Award. I'm still waiting for my statue. Tom Hanks took it home. TV shows, my favorite is the James Corden carpool karaoke with Will Smith. Now I was there, and I went to Will Smith for an autograph, walked right by. I went to James Corden and said, "Sure, come on over here, I'll do a selfie." So kind of different personalities, but it was a great show, and the kids did a great job. So tip number 6 is networking is a way of life. You need networking, the relationships, to be successful at almost anything. Number 7 is to be grateful. I am very grateful. I am grateful to my staff, my assistant directors, my teaching assistants, my office staff, which is sitting in the second table there. They're all here taking notes because I will quiz them when I go back to the office. But this is not a one-man show. It has never been a one-man show. We have a very devoted staff that helps me literally every day. I can't say enough about the band kids. They do the work. They're the blood, sweat, and tears of this university. They're out on this field Tuesdays, Thursdays, Friday, all day Saturday. Some make it through band camp, some don't. I'm glad you're still sitting here. But we need to find out who wants to bleed cardinal and gold. Those are the Trojans we want in the band.